What's up YouTube? Welcome back to the channel, and today I'm going to do a small review on the Fanstoys version of Swerve, also known by them as Diverge. So let's start with what you actually get with the figure. You get a little instruction manual. You get the collector's card, which they always do a very good job. It's like a credit card feel to it. If they're going to do it, definitely this is the way to do it. And you get this little baggie of different face sculpts, and you can swap out for this red that's actually matches the actual red there instead of this more salmon color. And you get all the extra wee visor bits, so you can have a straight through visor. Totally up to you. So too, the figure itself. And I actually really like the figure. There's just some things that's not so great about it. He holds his gun very well, no issues with that. We'll get down to just having a closer look at it. Face sculpt looks pretty good, very Fanstoys-ish. I like the sort of the blue shiny sort of paint that they use for the eyes. I think it just makes them pop a lot more, especially when the light picks up on it. Just looks far better than just leaving them as clear plastic and, you know, all the whole light piping and stuff. I don't like light piping. The chest is very cool. I don't know whether you can pick up on all the details that are actually in behind that plastic, the clear plastic. Very nicely done. As you can see in person, like, you can see everything in there. It's actually really nice, really well done. Don't mind clear plastic here, just don't like it when it's used for the eyes. A chrome on the legs. This, I think it's like die cast. I don't know, I'll leave it for the final thoughts. And you get the chrome on the toes, get the white in there. Cleans up very well at the back. These look like Lego pieces. I'm sorry, but that's, I just can't get that out of my head. Like, they just look like the little blue Lego lights that you get just clipped on. In fact, if you can see there, the way that they're pegged on doesn't exactly fill me full of joy either. It literally looks like they've just pegged a couple of them wee Lego lights on top of there. Translucent clear plastic up here. Just see the two sort of stems in there. The fact that this doesn't do anything for transformation, I think they could have maybe put like a couple of seats in there. Would have just molded seats, I think would have just made this even better, especially in truck mode, because it doesn't interfere, it doesn't move, doesn't do anything. So therefore, they could have just sculpted something in there. But that's my opinion. So articulation, we get the full 360 on the head. You can look up loads, which is good because he's a mini bot. You can look down ever so slightly, and no side to side. Arms, they've got this joint, which I am not overly keen on, but it just rotates there, but I think it should actually clip. So it rotates here. You don't get the full 360. Oh, you do. You do. My bad. So you get the full 360 there. You get out to there. This one on mine is actually loose for some reason compared to the other side. You get 90 degrees on the elbow due to navigate it just slightly past 90 degrees on the elbow. And you do get wrist swivel, you get a bicep swivel, you do get a waist joint, you get the legs on a soft ratchet up to there, which is pretty cool, and they go back that far, and you get the full range out on a tension joint. So very good. All these flaps lift up individually, so you have this here's the way I prefer it. I don't like it when they do the full flap at the front. I don't like whenever figures do that. And then we have less than 90 on the knee. Now, if you really wanted to cheat it, you probably could unpeg this panel and move that out of the way, and you can get the full range. Just mindful of that panel then once you're actually posing it. But it is an option if you really wanted it. So you get nothing forward, nothing back on the foot, and you get a small ankle pivot. does the job. So for comparison, I've got a couple of figures here. There's no point bringing in the bigger sort of guys, so I've brought in MP Sideswipe. So he is just a little bit shorter than the sort of Carbots for Masterpiece. And let's bring in Fanstoys version of Pipes. So he's a wee bit shorter than Pipes too, but he's in that category for mini-bots. And for the final comparison, just one that probably a lot of people will be interested in. Here is the Bad Cube version of Swerve. Definitely prefer this guy for the Masterpiece line. This guy actually looks like he could fit in the Chug line. He's maybe just a bit big for the Chug line. But this guy is still a really, really nice figure. I still really, really like him. But I definitely think he could squeeze more into the Chug line now, as this guy looks a lot more cartoon accurate for me. So I'm going to get this guy transformed up into his vehicle mode. We'll take a look at him. I don't do the transformation on these videos. I do a separate video showing you how to transform it from robot to car and then car back to robot mode. So if you think that there will help in your decision making, definitely check out my videos on my channel on how to transform. So without further ado, let's take a look at him in vehicle mode. And here's Fanstoys Swerve in his vehicle mode. And this is a solid vehicle mode. I think I mentioned it in my transformation video. So we got rubber tires, very nice to see in a Masterpiece figure. I do like the chrome here on the wheels. There's no pegs, Hasbro take note. Everything just cleans up so tidy all the way around. Everything, no garbage, nothing. Definitely shines in vehicle mode for me. Does anyone ever take these QC pass stickers off? I think I have them on all my Fanstoys figures. I'm not sure if I ever took them off. Let me know in the comments, does anyone take those off? Anyway, all he's missing now is the Autobot logo. We've got obviously the chrome feet sort of come out. That's pretty much his feet hanging out the back, as Swerve usually is. Like I said, cleans up at the bottom. I mean, the only reason you don't say visible face is because his head is flipped around to the back. There's not a lot of detail or paint and stuff. He's very tune accurate. Personally, for me, I know it's not everyone's cup of tea, but I really like them being tune accurate. I like them when they just come straight off the screen. But I know that not everybody appreciates that. Again, they had a sculpted something in there, like seats, would have just made this thing perfect for me. So let's do a little comparison. So let's look at a couple of comparisons. Here he is with Sideswipe. No, my Sideswipe's wheels is not sitting properly. But there he is with Sideswipe. Just a little shorter, which is the way I personally think he should be. There. Definitely look very nice together. And just to see, here he is with the Bad Cube in vehicle mode. They are about roughly the same size. This thing is an absolute mare to transform compared to this. This is actually a very nice transformation from Fanstoys. This thing is still a nightmare to transform. But I think just looking at this should definitely make your decision on whether you're going to go or switch out or whatever, because that vehicle mode, this is way, way better than that. I know it's not completely tabbed in properly. That thing is crazy to transform. It's so overcomplicated. Definitely, if anyone knows Fanstoys, they know that Fanstoys definitely, or if anyone knows Bad Cube, they know that Bad Cube was always an absolute disaster to transform. Great figures, don't get me wrong, for their time, but the transformations really did suck. So I think if you're going to make your decision on whether to swap out, I think this is the only picture that you need to look at, really. I think it's night and day. 100% this guy pulls it off way better. And final thoughts. I think it's absolutely fantastic figure. I'll give you my negatives. So negatives, I don't like that these don't tab in these shoulder joints and they just seem to want to rotate right back. Don't like that. That should definitely have tabbed in. That's definitely a big miss for Fanstoys point. The other negative that I do find is the tabbing in at the back. If you watch my transformation video, you'll see just how tight that is. It definitely solidifies it, but it's just a very scary moment, especially when you're transforming them back from vehicle to robot mode. It's just a scary moment, but I've done it a few times now and there's not even a crack, so don't worry about that there. My only other real negative with this figure, well, I have that other little bit about the door, or I would like a seat. I would like the seat sculpted in at the back. I think that just would have made this thing that bit more finished. I think it just would have added that little bit to the figure, but it's not necessary. And the other big negative really for me is the use of chrome. I think that they should have just stuck with the white for the figure, or at least even just, you know, a matte finish. I think with the way that they've painted this figure, it made it so tune accurate. I think that the chrome definitely does stick out like a sore thumb on it. Just bringing in pipes here, the way that they've done the silver on pipes, I think that's the way, maybe not that exact color, but that's probably the way that they should have went with the feet and the thighs pieces for me, personally. It might not be everyone's decision, but for me, that's what I think anyway. On a positive note, this figure looks absolutely stunning in both modes. The vehicle mode cleans up so well, looks so good. I mean, comparison to this thing, it just blows that out of the park. I think in vehicle mode and in robot mode. And in robot mode, I think it just looks way better. Do I recommend this figure? 100% yes, I recommend this figure. If you're thinking about switching them out with the bag cube, as you've just seen in this video, when you look at the two of them, 100%, it's not even a slight bit of competition. I've had figures in the past where I'm like, do I switch it out, do I not? You know, is he that much better? I mean, he is a wee bit, but he's not that much better to swap it out. Whereas this one, 100%, this figure is far better than the bag cube version. I think this is going to be my Swerve from here on out. I haven't quite decided what I'm doing with the bag cube one. Do I keep it and use it in my Chug collection, or do I just sell it? Either way, one of those two options is definite, because he's no longer going to be on my masterpiece shelf. And just a quick little video just to show him on the actual masterpiece shelf. Boy, does he look good in that shelf. Definitely very happy with Fanstoys Swerve. And that's it for today's episode, guys. I hope you found this helpful. If you did, give me a like and a subscribe, and until next time, stay awesome.